What is your American dream?
I'm from China, and my American dream is to do the works I intended to do in this interesting place and communicate with other people from all over the world.
I'm from India. My American dream is to enjoy this inclusiveness and freedom of America and have fun while it lasts.
I'm from New York, and my American dream is for everyone to be able to make the most of themselves.
I'm from Belgium. The American dream for me, for living in New York, would be ideal. Have a house that looks nice but is not too expensive, and work in Manhattan, have a major salary, to have a bit of money at the side for health insurance, because you never know, you might get into trouble.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome everybody, Squad Up. My name is Brad Bernstein. It is Tuesday. It is May 18th, and somewhere out in the clouds, in New York and Florida. Wait a second. I said goodbye yesterday to everybody at 8:05. And Yo-Yo and Vanessa, you were in the same exact spots as yesterday. You're in the same exact spots again.
We've been waiting.
Except you change clothes. I mean, do you even stand up to do anything, or you just wait there for the cameras to go back on?
I actually have a whole bag of clothes here, so I don't have to move for the entire week, actually. Yeah, and this is the best part of my day, because now I can finally talk. I don't talk to anybody. I just sit and stare
it's
at the laptop.
It's like the squad strapped you down to those chairs. We say goodbye, and then you just like stop smiling until the cameras come back.
That's it. That's exactly
22 hours later.
Same place, same time.
I mean, you're in the same exact square on the same exact spot on everybody's computer or TV.
But you know what's crazy?
What?
You are too.
I am.
So I was about to ask you, do you sit there and wait as well?
I do. If you know, because of, you know, I don't want to say, you know, Brad Show magic or anything, but underneath, you ever see those things like I live in a van, you know, and here's my bed and here's my stove. I live in a studio, and, you know, if anyone came behind, there's a bed, there's a stove, there's everything here. I never leave.
Anything and everything you
Everything, exactly.
Right. Where else would we want to be?
Exactly. We just wait here 22 hours later. Boom, we're back again.
For the Brad Squad. All for y'all.
Let's say hello to the squad. Cordella Douglas, happy Tuesday, everybody. Natasha Gordon, Squad Up. Jewel Delph on Facebook, Squad Up. Jessica Lini, how are you? Latana Sani, hi Squad Up. Joan Erica, she says, I am at the front of the class today. I am early. Well, welcome. Jessica Brown, what is Brad Show?
Ooh,
that's a very existential question.
I actually love that question.
What is Brad Show?
I love that question.
It's whatever you want it to be. It could be, you could be entertained, you could be informed. You will be. You could be educated. You could just like to watch eye candy, Vanessa and Yo-Yo. Whatever. It's a little bit of everything for everybody.
There you go.
Right?
That's exactly what it is.
Depending on the day, we'll switch up the news. Depending on the day, sometimes it's fuzzy. Sometimes we got tea. Other days, you know, little hump day.
Little Randy.
I love those questions. What is Brad Show? It's like, what is life? What is, you know, it's very existential. It could mean anything to anybody. All right, Elizabeth Francis, Squad Up. Joan Grant, Squad Up. Perhaps the squad.
Ooh, wait. How about the squad? How about the squad answer that question?
Yeah, why doesn't the squad answer and let I lost track of who asked that question, but whoever did ask that question, squad, why don't you tell that person.
I like what Carol Anderson, the Tiger, said. The show is addicting to watch. You can't resist it. So I like that.
All right. Elizabeth Francis, squad up. Sherry Bushy Forster, squad up. Lita Alberto, I see you. Gordon Jemiah, squad up. Tracy Haynes, squad up. Willie L. Williams saying, hey, you. I don't know who he's talking to, but hey, you. Olivia Love. Love that name. Kelly Williams, squad up. Amanda Chung, a pre-question. What do we call it? Not a pre-question. A pre-schmooze question. Is that what we're going to call it?
I could do a pre-show question.
Pre-show question. We started this. We started this last week, but I forgot what I was calling it now. But she has a question. We're going to answer it because this is what we do now. We always answer one question. Pre-check-in question. You want to call it that?
Yeah, because it's social media check-in.
All right. Pre-check-in. Amanda Chung with a pre-check-in. I want to ask a question for my brother. His daughter wants to sponsor him, and he's here in the United States now. Does he have to go back, or can he stay until he gets through? Well, if his daughter is a United States citizen, and his daughter is over the age of 21, and he made a legal entry into the United States of America, he can adjust his status here and stay through to the very end. Now, it's very tricky sometimes when you're getting sponsored by your child and you are not married, and you're the father and you are not married to the mother, because not only then do you have to prove that you are the biological father of this child who's sponsoring you, and it's no longer a child, it's an adult, somebody over the age of 21, but also you have to prove that you've had a relationship with this with your adult son or daughter between the ages of that your adult son and daughter's birth to 18. So the answer is yes, if you qualify. Let's continue. Carol Anderson, the Tigers, squad up. Jacqueline Brown, squad up. Tina Roberts, we see you. Stargirl Mika, Marcella Reed, Michael Powell saying hello. Joan Ambitious Powell. Is Michael and Joan related?
Possibly. Are
you gonna do a British accent today? All day, all
it's
show?
time.
All show?
Okay. And on that, I love British accent. I love British accents.
We should have accent week. Every day we do a show in a different accent. Like we'll do patois one day. We'll do.
That would actually be pretty funny.
Westman, squad up. K God bless on YouTube. Janice Williams, squad up. Chukwuku Chidima. Chukwucha Chidima. Did I get that right? Let's call Chukwucha Chidima Chuck. Chuck. Much easier. Squad up, Uncle Brad. Charlotte Muzo, squad up. Oliami Abimbola, squad up. David Agbu saying, all right, we have to have a pre-check-in on YouTube as well, I guess, right? Hello. When can I file for my 18-year-old son undocumented just for him to get a work authorization? I don't know what your status is, David. I don't know how your son got here. So we need to know a lot more. Maybe he's eligible for DACA, for as far as we know. We're not exactly sure. So we need to know a lot more. Jonathan, why don't you take it away and tell everybody who's watching for the first time what's going to happen on our show?
Absolutely. All right. Well, first things first, welcome, squad. Welcome to all the people that are just now joining in. You guys are a part of the family now, okay? So now is the time for everybody to share. Just like you guys just found this show, you have to help other people find this show. It's all through your fingers, okay? So click that little share button because we're about to start schmoozing with Brad real soon. We're going to be talking headlines and immigration news, including great news. President Biden just announced that will affect 39 million families in the U.S.
And it's Tuesday, so get ready for some tea with Brad, including the newest celebrity rumored to be thinking about jumping into politics.
And of course, you can give us a call to get your immigration questions answered on our show. That's going to happen after our schmooze, but you got to get in line because we only take the first 14 calls to our show. You call right now, 1-800-529-5465. Perhaps you saw Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson come straight across your screen with my head on it, holding a sign saying, "Ask me your immigration question." Yes, that is the telephone number to call. It is also the number to call for the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. One telephone number for both. Our sponsor, law offices of Spar and Bernstein, 1-800-529-5465. Internationally, it's 212-227-8933. Later on, after I answer all your immigration questions, I will be continuing my discussion with Armenian American artist and activist Rima Makaryan. We're going to hear more about our project titled The Forgotten Faces of Artsakh, in which she documented the plight of Armenian refugees displaced after the 2020 war. And how many people knew there was a 2020 war? Because we're in 2021. How many people knew there was a war in Armenia? Not even in our news. Yo-Yo, Vanessa.
Yes, sir.
You ready to start schmoozing?
Absolutely.
What?
That's Schmooze with Brad, y'all.
Yep, we're going to schmooze. So anyway, President Biden and the White House announced yesterday that the expanded monthly child tax credit introduced in the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package is going to start beginning to arrive in people's bank accounts July 15th. What does this mean? It means that if you are one of the 39 million households with approximately 65 million children, about 88% of the households with children living in the United States, you're going to start getting money in your bank account on July 15th. In his joint address to Congress last month, President Biden said with two parents, two kids, that's $7,200 in the pockets you're getting to help take care of your family. And that will help more than 65 million children and help cut child care poverty in half. The expanded credit was established in the American Rescue Plan signed into law in March. In 2021, the maximum enhanced child credit, tax credit, was $3,600. Now you're not getting a tax credit, you're getting actual money in your bank. The credit is per child in each household, meaning a family with 3 children, ages 4, 8, and 12, could receive up to $800 a month. Most American families qualify for some amount of money through this child tax credit. The full credit is available to couples with filing a joint tax return up to $150,000 and individuals filing an individual tax return up to $75,000. They're basing it on the 2019 or 2020 tax returns that you filed. Now, this enhanced tax credit, and usually the tax credits was you would just pay less in taxes, or if you overpaid your taxes, you would get a tax refund. Well, now you are just getting a check mailed to you. The enhanced tax credit's going to phase out for taxpayers who make more money and cease for individuals earning $95,000 and married couples earning up to $170,000. Now, taxpayers who make more are still going to be eligible for the regular tax credit, which is $2,000 per child under the age of 17 for families making less than $200,000 or married couples making less than $400,000. So this is not in replace of the tax credit. This is an additional tax credit. And I am sure we are going to get some questions, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. And I'm going to give you the answer right now. Do I qualify if I have a green card? Do I qualify if I have a pending adjustment? Do I qualify if I have overstayed my time? And the answer is, as far as I am aware, I have never seen the IRS ever figure out who is legal, who is not legal. This is all done through the IRS. So in essence, if you filed a tax return with a social security number, they're not going to figure out what your status is here. Expect a check in your bank.
It's a gem. Put that in your pocket,
Nice.
squad.
Nice.
Now, unfortunately for me, my children are now 20 and 18.
They out of here.
Damn.
Only
It was
this happened
fun.
a couple years back.
And
last.
and unfortunately for Yo-Yo, you have no children.
Nada.
Damn.
Damn. I know. I was like, free money in the account. I don't have any.
Right.
And Nesquik, unfortunately, you also don't have any
She's
children.
like, not my problem.
Damn.
Ew.
That's another damn.
So nothing for all three of us.
No, we're three-time losers here.
Dang.
Damn. You're like, damn.
Right,
Right.
it is.
We're
I'm like,
out.
damn, 7,000, that's real good.
Yeah, that's it.
But you know, I'm actually really happy about that though, because a lot of people do need that. I just really hope that they use it for the kids, you know, because I don't want to see no big screen TVs, no elaborate trips just for the parents. I want y'all to use it for the kids, y'all.
I hope so. I mean, if you have a family of 3 kids and you're a joint filer earning less than $150,000, you're going to get $800 in your bank account every month.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Wow. That's really good.
That's pretty good. I mean, that's $9,600.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Brooklyn Center City, that's Minneapolis. That is the place where it all began last year. We don't have to go through it all again, but the city council voted 4-1 Saturday afternoon to dramatically reduce the power of its police department in a sweeping new measure. Now, Brooklyn Center is a suburb of Minneapolis where Dante Wright died after being shot on April 11th by an officer who said she thought she was holding her taser. Mayor Mike Elliott said in a written statement issued by the city, quote, "Our community has made it clear that it is time for real, transformative change that is going to keep everyone in our city safe." The Dante Wright and Kobe Dimmock Heisler Community Safety and Violence Prevention Resolution says the city will create an unarmed department to handle all incidences where a city resident is primarily experiencing a medical, mental health, disability-related, or other behavioral or social need. This, I believe, Yo-Yo and Vanessa, is what they reference to defund the police.
Yes.
This is not no police.
Exactly.
All right.
Which is not what we want.
I don't think I mean, maybe there's some crazy fringe people out there who really don't want police, but I would
Right.
say 99 out of 100 people want police, and they want to
Yes.
live in safety. And there is a need, absolute need for police.
Correct.
But when you say defund the police, make the police do police work, and don't let the police do social worker work. So here is a situation where they're going to test it out. I hope it works, because if it
Same.
does, it will be a model for the rest of the United States of America. The police are no longer going to be handling any medical situation. They're not going to be handling any mental health situation, any disability-related situation, or any behavioral or social need situation. That is all going to go to a new unarmed force that is trained to deal with these situations. All emergency calls in these incidences are going to be routed to a new community response department instead of the police department. And additionally, under this new law, traffic enforcement is going to be handled by a separate force that is also unarmed. So their police are no longer going to deal with your traffic tickets. The measure says police officers are not going to be allowed to make arrests or conduct searches for any non-moving traffic infraction, non-felony offenses, non-felony warrants, with police only allowed to issue citations in these cases. Going forward, the new Department of Community Safety and Violence Prevention will have an independent director. All emergency agencies, including the police and the fire departments, will be under the director's authority, and the new department is going to be monitored by civilians.
I like that. I like that.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, the simple fact that, you know, we actually came up with a solution that we're trying to try out. That's what, you know, I feel like defund, at least from me, that's what I meant with defund the police. So I'm happy that we actually are putting a foot forward and trying new things. So hopefully it does work.
I really wish they would have used the term to rethink the police, or, you know, let's rethink police priorities or something like that. Because when you say defund the police, it always makes people think you don't want police, you just want anarchy, which I don't think anybody was ever really saying. I mean, maybe a few people, but 99.99% were not. And unfortunately, the Republicans used it against Democrats to say, you see, they don't want police, they don't want anybody to, they want anarchy in the streets, which is I don't think many people really want.
No.
Meanwhile, according to a copy of a plan obtained by CNN ahead of its release this week, 15 unions that represent law enforcement officers across the United States in response to the police killing of George Floyd have endorsed a blueprint for policing that includes a major shift in the way unions protect bad cops. Floyd's death last May brought renewed attention to the idea of active bystanders, which is a new concept in law enforcement, which calls for officers to intervene when they see something wrong. That blue code of silence, many times where officers are guilted or bullied into not saying anything because they have to support their other police officer, that is also now being reevaluated. Other industries and trade unions have developed programs teaching colleagues to intervene when they see another worker behaving poorly. A committee convened by the AFL-CIO, International Brotherhood of Teamsters, and Service Employees International Union Friday approved the plan that calls on more than 250,000 law enforcement members, more than 100,000 members in police adjacent professions to intervene when they see another union member doing something wrong. What do you think of that?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Also, you know, it's also positive news. If you're saying reform the police, rethink the police, let's do the police better, let's make the police be on our side. Too many times it's us versus them, them versus us. If the police see somebody, the police are there for us. So if the police see somebody doing something wrong to us, the other police have to speak up.
Right. Do you feel like this is going to like create some kind of almost like, because, you know, now it's taken away a lot of, you know, the duties from police, and, you know, some police officers actually became police officers to do these duties. Do you feel like it's going to create some kind of a friction, or like they're going to feel some type of way about this and maybe take it out, still be taking it out on minorities or innocent people?
I'm not sure about that. I was more concerned that people who wanted to be police officers, whether policeman or a policewoman, who want to go join the police force, may now be thinking, you know, rethinking this profession. You know, it's getting a very bad rap. You know, I want to do good. You know, everybody always goes in wanting to do good. You know, it's when you get into the grind of it that
when it becomes corrupt.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So, you know, maybe a lot of good officers and good people are now maybe rethinking their profession. So that's a concern for me. I'm not.
I didn't think about that.
I don't. It's possible. What, you know, I haven't given thought. I have to give thought to what you said. I didn't think about it before.
Like,
but you happen to be right. I think I would have to give some more thought to that.
Think about like the ones that have been in the force for so long, you know what I mean, 20, 30 years, and, you know, this is what they know. So it's like, now you're like, oh, you guys are complaining so much, now you took away my job, this is what I do, this is what I love. And whether they're corrupt or not, you know, I feel like they will feel some type of way. I just don't want them to, feel some type of way to where they take it out and are extra mean whenever they get the little chance to be. You feel me? That's all I'm thinking about.
I hear what you're saying. I think it all goes back to training. I mean, if people are trained well in their job.
You said that. Yeah.
In New York, for example, you need more hours of training to be a barber than you do to get a license to be a barber than you do to be a police officer.
Wild. That's wild.
So when we start training police officers like barbers, then maybe they wouldn't act like you would think they would, Yo-Yo.
Right. I agree.
Meanwhile, for years, the United States government has largely ignored reports of mysterious flying objects seen moving through restricted military airspace, but is now slowly beginning to acknowledge that UFOs, which Pentagon refers to as the unidentified aerial phenomenon, are real. You believe this, Yo-Yo and Vanessa?
We've had this conversation.
Now, recently, the United States military has confirmed the authenticity of several videos and images showing encounters with UFOs, fueling questions about what the Pentagon knows and if there are any green men being held in New Mexico. Next month, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and other agencies are scheduled to deliver an unclassified report on UFOs to Congress. The Defense Department's watchdog is also set to examine how the Pentagon has handled reports of UFOs. Now, a source with knowledge has told CNN earlier this month that there's going to be more inquiries announced in the near future on how these encounters are being handled. Now, here's a few facts I want to throw out at you, Yo-Yo and Vanessa. Fact. A UFO is a flying object that looks and moves unlike an airplane. Fact. Here's another fact.
How's it a fact that we don't know if they're real or not?
But I'm telling you, if it's in my card, it's a fact.
Right.
It's a fact, and it does not move like an aircraft.
Okay.
Here's another fact. There have been numerous UFO sightings in recent years, but the military has only verified a few. Fact.
Mm-hmm. Verified a few.
Only a few of the many. Many have gone unverified. Fact.
Okay.
Last month, the Pentagon confirmed the authenticity of photos and video taken by a Navy personnel in 2019 that appeared to show a triangle-shaped, unidentified flying object blinking and moving through the clouds. Fact. A triangle going through the clouds must be from another world. We don't make triangle airplanes here, do we?
No, we don't. So what's the reason for the Pentagon coming out and doing this now? So I don't understand why now?
Because it's been I think there's been so much speculation at some point. They even wanted to storm, remember, and hundreds of thousands. Area 50, was it 59, 52, 51?
Area 51?
51, 59. I would have went to the wrong area. I would have went to Area 59. They would have said, come on in. It's Area 51. That's the one they wanted to storm. So many people are talking about it on social media. By the way, wouldn't that be great if this little green guy comes and gives the report to Congress next week? I have come to give the report.
I'm here for it. I'll be here for it. Oh my God.
Now, Luis Elenzado, the former head of classified Department of Defense program to research potential UFOs, told CNN in 2017 that he believes that there is compelling evidence that we may not be alone. What do you think is going to be in this report next week? Jonathan, Yo-Yo, Elias, one sentence that you're going to see in that report that's going to surprise everybody. Tell us right now.
8-foot 8-foot aliens that they have in Area 51.
Vanessa Nesquik-Contreras, one sentence that you're going to see in that report that's going to surprise you in the UFO report next week.
They've been here all along.
Donald Trump Jr. was born on Jupiter. It's going to be in the report. He is not from this earth.
Could not be.
He is
Could
not
not.
from this earth.
Fact.
Fact.
That's a fact.
Meanwhile, talking about facts, let's talk coronavirus quickly. According to our friends at the Johns Hopkins University, the United States has reported more than 32.9 million COVID cases, coming close to 600,000 deaths, 586,000 people dead. Nearly 48% of the people in the United States has received at least one vaccine shot, and about 37%, more than a third of the people in the United States of America, are fully vaccinated. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention analysis released today, vaccination rates in the United States are lower in rural counties than in the urban ones. Cities and states are trying to find creative ways to incentivize the shots. So if you live in Ohio, you really have no excuse not to get a COVID shot, because on Tuesday, Ohio began registering the Vaccination lottery, a chance to claim $1 million in a lottery every week. And the only way to enter is to get vaccinated. It's called the Vaccination lottery. I am telling you the truth. It's for the next 5 weeks. You could win $1 million every week. All you got to do is get jabbed in the arm.
That's crazy.
Vanessa Nesquik Contreras, will you be driving to Ohio in the next 5 weeks for the Vaccination lottery?
I can't say that's going to be me, Brad.
That will not be you. Now, drawings for the lottery designed to combat vaccine hesitancy are scheduled to take place every Wednesday on TV. Five lucky people are going to be vaccinated against COVID and walk away with $1 million.
I'm not mad at it.
By the way, I'm very thirsty right now. I think it's tea time. It's tea time. It's tea time Tuesday.
I got mine right here.
You have your
Nice and hot.
tea? Who's coming in with my tea today? Do we have a butler? Do we have a butler? No, we don't. We have Julie, the executive producer. The butler is still on vacation. Hello, Julie. How are you?
Where is that butler?
What is the tea for today, Julie?
Peppermint.
It's peppermint tea.
Very soothing.
Very soothing, Julie says. Thank you very much. Enjoy. It will be the only time she ever serves me anything, only on Tuesdays. I said to her earlier, I said, will you be serving me tea every day? She says, fat chance. Every Tuesday, that's it. So I have my tea.
That is fact.
What?
That sounds
That
like
is
a fact.
a fact, right? You want facts? Fact. Cheers, guys. Let's
Cheers.
see how the peppermint tea is. What happened to my music, by the way? There we go.
It tastes so much better with the music.
It does. It doesn't taste like anything without the music, but with the music, I feel like stopping the show and just having some tea.
It's getting louder.
I wonder what tea time stories we have for today.
Let us know, Bradley.
I don't know.
Bradford.
By the way, Ariana Grande, straight off her devastating loss of breaking up with her boyfriend Pete Davidson, she's getting married.
What?
Yeah. Hysterical over Pete Davidson last year, getting married this year to a gentleman by the name of Dalton Gomez.
What?
Dalton Gomez.
I'm not gonna hold you. I just don't ever understand celebrity love life, and it's not for us to understand because it comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, wait, what? I didn't even know she had a boyfriend.
I didn't even know either. I don't even know who Dalton Gomez is. Does he have like the #1 record in America and I don't know who he is?
I don't know who he. I thought that
No,
was
Dalton
Screech
Gomez.
from
Dalton Gomez
looks
does
like
not have the
Screech.
#1 record in America. In fact, he's not even a celebrity. He's a 25-year-old real estate agent. And in December,
Whoa.
Ariana posted a photo of her ring along with the caption, "Forever and then some."
Okay.
They started dating in January and spent the pandemic social distancing at her LA home. Grande shared a collection of personal photos with Gomez in early April. She captioned the romantic snaps, "My heart, my person, thank you so much for being you."
It's just so different from like her past boyfriends, because like we know about Big Sean, we know about Pete Davidson, we know about Mac Miller who passed away, and like it's just it's weird that she had such a public, you know, love life, and all of a sudden, well, maybe that's, you know, that's what she chose in order to, you know, keep her mess out of the tabloids and stuff, and that's what made them happy.
Vanessa, do you have a question to ask the Magic 8 Ball about Ariana Grande's marriage to what's the guy's name? To
not what's the guy's name? That's
what's his name?
Gomez.
Alton Gomez. Do you have a question? Dalton Gomez. Do you have a question for the Magic 8 Ball?
I think the only question we're all asking here is, will they make it?
Magic 8 Ball. Ariana Grande, very famous Grammy Award-winning artist, marrying an absolute nobody as it turns into a celebrity. Some guy on real estate who's younger than him. Maybe he's successful, maybe he's not. But
I don't know what to say.
But nobody's ever heard of this guy before. Will they make it? Will they make it forever? Is this
They look like a teenage couple.
Is this Ariana Grande's true love? Magic 8 Ball. Magic 8 Ball says yes. As I see it, yes, they're going to make it. The Magic 8 Ball has spoken. Ariana Grande and Dalton Gomez.
There you have it.
There you have it.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov. Meanwhile, Matthew McConaughey. All right. You know where that's from? Dazed and Confused, his famous movie Dazed and Confused.
God, there you go.
Yeah, he's thinking of running for governor of Texas come 2022 as a Democrat. And right now, according to the polls, he's in the lead. Nobody knows what he stands for other than he loves the Lincoln. Okay? And, you know, any guy who could drive a Lincoln and do that commercial is going to get votes. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sure his looks will definitely add to people joining his team.
Do you think if he runs for governor, he would win? Having absolutely not having any idea what he stands for.
I think so. Like I said, like looks, I'm not going to hold you. Looks help out a lot. We always hear about JFK. What you hear about? You always hear about his looks. Whenever you talk about Obama, they talk about their looks. You know, I feel like some people will actually follow him because of his looks. And of course, stardom. Like, how the hell did Arnold Schwarzenegger become a governor?
What about Ronald Reagan? Even Donald Trump was a celebrity before he became president.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
People, like when I feel like when celebrities cross over to politicians, they use their stardom to their favor, and it works. Yeah.
And by the way, McConaughey, I'm going to quote him. And by the way, this sounds like something he would be saying in his Lincoln car commercials. Okay? It sounds like he's driving down the road. Okay? Just picture him. Just leave that picture up. Go back to the Lincoln picture. Go back to the Lincoln picture. All right, just picture him.
That beat?
Yeah, picture him driving down the road.
His campaign pic.
And this is what he says into the camera. And I'm looking now into what is my leadership role, because I do think I have some things to teach and share. What is my role? What is my category in my next chapter of life? As he drives right down in his Lincoln. Now, you want to know something?
Into the sunset.
Into the sunset. You want to know something interesting about, those Lincoln commercials? When he started those Lincoln commercials about a decade ago, 1 month after he started those commercials, Lincoln sales rose 25%. So people love Matthew McConaughey.
There you go.
Vanessa Nesquik-Contreras, do you have anything to ask the Magic 8 Ball about Matthew McConaughey's run for governor in 2022?
Will he do it for the people?
Will Matthew McConaughey, Magic 8 Ball?
Good question.
Will he do it for the people? Is he a man of the people, Magic 8 Ball? Matthew McConaughey.
He's going to be a Democrat in Texas, right?
Magic 8 Ball says outlook's not so good. Magic 8 Ball not in favor of the Matthew McConaughey run for governor in
I don't know why.
2022.
I feel good about him.
You
I
do.
don't know why.
You do.
Yeah.
Me too. Me too. I don't know. I'm a sucker for Matthew McConaughey.
You are a sucker.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to tell you
He already
something.
won us.
I'm going to tell you something. Maybe you should. You should change your what is it? Your like little informational thing on your Instagram under your thing. You're like, I'm a sucker for Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah. That definitely was my log on.
Yeah, yeah, you're like your little about me. I'm a sucker for Matthew McConaughey.
He won us.
Meanwhile, the singer The Weeknd, Yo, donated
Yes,
$1
he is
million.
Ethiopian.
You know about this?
He's Ethiopian.
To help feed. I thought he was Canadian, but I guess he's Ethiopian descent.
Well, he's from Canada, but
right? He's originally Ethiopian.
I didn't know he was Ethiopian. We love The Weeknd.
I didn't know he was Ethiopian. I just knew Canadian. The Weeknd. Aha! Fact. Jonathan
Fact.
Yo-Yo Elias. If it's in
He's
my
from
card,
Canada.
it's a fact because we have fact checkers here at Bradshaw Live. That's why I said this is a fact. The Weeknd, who is of Ethiopian descent,
Yes.
partnered with World Food Program USA, a UN World Food Program affiliate, to send over $1 million towards relief for the North African country. The Weeknd's money is going to provide the equivalent of 2 million meals for citizens. And I'm going to quote The Weeknd. He says, "My heart breaks for my people of Ethiopia as innocent civilians ranging from small children to the elderly are being senselessly murdered and entire villages are being displaced out of fear and destruction. Ethiopia has been in a bitter battle with its own people since November when Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed ordered an attack on the Tigray People's Liberation Front, the ruling party in the northern part of the region. There's major civil war going on there."
Yeah. That's really big. I mean, it's always awesome to be able to give back to your people. Even myself, like having a TV show out there from 2010 to 2018 and going back and actually helping and, giving back and, just making a difference. Just little old me, it felt great. So I already know he's like on a different high to help that many people.
And by the way, not only has he done this for Ethiopia, but he also changed this year the way the Grammys are going to be nominated for next year. They are dropping the secretive nomination committees after The Weeknd called the award show corrupt this year when he did not receive a single nomination. The Recording Academy, which oversees the Grammys, announced the changes to the award show. It's getting rid of these secret committees that select artists to be nominated in each category. The Academy says the changes are to ensure the awards show rules are transparent and equitable. And that, my friends, let me just have another sip of tea.
That was great tea.
Was our tea
That was great
today.
tea. That was great
Ari?
tea.
I want you to know something. The tea was good. The conversation was good. The laughter was good. I love Tea Time Tuesday.
Me too.
Cheers.
Ethiopia was winning. Everyone was
That's
winning during
right.
this.
Meanwhile, we gotta get to some law. In today's Braducation, I talk about the two very important things you should do if you're injured on the job on a construction site. Let's watch. My goal is straightforward: to make the law usable and easy to understand for everyone. All of us in the United States have equal rights and should have an equal opportunity and a right to justice. I'm here to help because I want everybody to achieve their American dream. I'm Brad Bernstein, and this is your Litigation Braducation. I'm not here to tell you what you want to know. I'm here to tell you what you need to know. Construction accident law is different in each state and is very complex. My objective is to make the law easy for you to understand so that you can use the justice system to your advantage if you or your loved one is ever hurt in a construction accident. Now, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, there are more than 150,000 serious construction site accident injuries each year in the United States. That's enough to fill 2 NFL football stadiums. And in fact, the Liberty Mutual Workplace Safety Index recently reported that United States companies have paid out more than $62 billion for workplace injuries in only 1 year. That is more than $1 billion per week. And the annual cost to United States business of lost time workplace injuries is greater than the gross domestic product of 91 countries, according to data from the World Monetary Fund. So this is really important to know because there is big money on the line if you get injured. And you want the money in your pocket and your loved one's pocket and not in the pocket of some fat cat at the insurance company. So listen up, because some things are universal no matter what state you're injured in. Now, most worksite injuries fall under workers' compensation and prevent you from filing a civil action for your personal injuries. But in New York and in many other states, if you get injured on a construction site, you can obtain workers' compensation and also file a lawsuit for your pain and suffering, your lost earnings, and all past and future medical bills. So if you fall, something falls on you, you're injured on the construction site, these are the things you must do to make sure you put yourself in the best legal position to ensure your highest money settlement. Number one, stay where you are and call an ambulance. Do not have your employer or coworker drive you to the hospital, because then there is no record that you were injured at a construction site. The insurance company could say the accident never occurred where you claim it did. Number two, take pictures and video, or if you're too injured, have your friend and coworker take pictures and videos of you and everything around you. This is really important. A construction site is always changing since something is being built there. So make sure you memorialize by taking pictures and video of how the accident site looked at that moment in time that you got injured, because it's not going to look the same for very long. And by the way, you can watch more Braducations, watch the entire Braducation series only on OnlyFans.tv. You heard it right. I am the first lawyer on OnlyFans.tv, the first lawyer on OnlyFans, the first lawyer to keep his clothes on OnlyFans as well. But you can watch it on OnlyFans. And with that, I think I got some immigration questions to answer. You got a question? I'm going to try to answer it. Marlon, who's been waiting the entire show to speak to me from Boston, Massachusetts. Marlon, how are you? Hi, Marlon.
Hello. Hello.
What's going on?
Hey, Brad. How you doing?
Good, good. What's happening?
Yeah, good. Appetit. I forgot about that. You know I'm a Jamaican anyway.
I know you're a Jamaican. Why do I know you're Jamaican? You from your accent?
Because you remember every single time I call.
Ah, okay.
So I think you remember that.
Okay.
All right. The thing is, I've filed for him since last year and still don't receive a biometrics notice.
From over a year ago?
Almost a year now, 11 months.
And you didn't get a biometric, and you didn't get your work permit or nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing. All right.
Nothing.
I think at this point you got to get somebody involved. I don't know why you didn't, but that's very odd. That's for your green card?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think you need to get somebody involved to see what's going on. When you have you called immigration and asked what's going on?
No.
Okay.
Never do.
Have you gotten a receipt notice from immigration?
Yes, I get that.
Okay.
But no biometrics notice.
I think somebody's got to call immigration. Step one is call immigration and say, hey, what's going on? It's possible they schedule you for biometrics and you missed the appointment. I don't know. But 11 months is
the only
too
thing
long.
they sent. The only thing I received is my medical paper. That came.
Step one, there's a 1-800 number. Call the customer service. They'll let you know if you had something scheduled and you missed it. Okay, and then call me back on the show later in the week. Let me know what they say.
All right then, Brian.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Let's go to Jose in San Diego.
Hello?
Hi, Jose.
Hey, how you doing, bro?
What's going on?
All right, so I came here to U.S. in 2012 without legal entry. 2016, I had a problem with my ex-wife.
Let's back. Whoa, back up, because without legal entry means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. Did you run across the border? Were you driven across the border?
Across the border. Across the border illegally.
Okay, and where are you originally from?
I'm from Salvador, Central America.
Okay, so how old are you in 2012 when you crossed the border?
I was 17 years old.
You were 17 years old. Nobody stopped you. You just came across. You figured it out and made it. And then you got married in 2016, you said?
In 2016, I got married, and I have a problem with my wife.
What was the problem?
We never submit. We were fighting over couple things, and she called the cops. So the cops arrest me and then put me on detention for 24 hours. So they took my fingerprint, and of course they find out I was illegal.
Right.
So nothing happened. They released me for a bond for $10,000. So I paid the bond. 2 months later, immigration officer was knocking my door, and they put me in the detention center. And I was about to get deported, so I got a lawyer. And and my only option was seek for asylum. That was my only option. I know my lawyer told me that was a little too late because I was already living here for almost 5 years.
Right.
But it was my only option. The judge asked me if I have someone can petition me, but by the time I was already divorced with my wife.
Were you convicted of a crime at all?
No.
Okay.
So I got a bond for $20,000. An immigration judge give me a bond for $20,000. I paid the bond for $20,000. I released, and of course they put me on removal proceedings right away. They don't even give me an interview of anything for asylum because
you were already in removal.
Yes, I was already in removal.
You were already in removal when you applied for the asylum, which was filed late. So what was the end result?
So after that, I get married in 2018. The marriage didn't work out, so I get divorced, and I withdraw my A130 application. In 2020, I got married again for a second time, and I submitted the A130 petition.
It's now your third marriage.
Second time. Well, the first marriage, we never submit any application, so just.
But it's your third marriage, second application.
Correct.
Okay.
Third marriage, second application, and I've been waiting for almost 10 months.
What happened with the removal? What happened with the removal hearing?
Well, since all the pandemic, they keep rescheduling my master hearing calendar. So I haven't heard anything from them. They scheduled me for 2021, and that happened back in 2018.
You should be thankful they don't schedule, because you need all this time to get your I-130 approved. When you filed the I-130, did you request a bona fide marriage exemption?
Yes, we did that.
You submitted a lot of evidence that it's a real marriage because the government believes you got married just to avoid deportation.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, we submitted a bunch of
what's going to happen is that your case is going to be transferred to the local office in San Diego, and they're going to give you a Stokes interview. They're going to separate you and your wife. Assuming you get that I-130 approved, you are then going to file. You can do one. There's two ways you can go about doing it. You can ask the judge to terminate your proceedings to allow you to file an I-601 provisional waiver. Or what I would do is I wouldn't even wait to get to the judge. I would file a 212 waiver, which is a waiver to return after being put in deportation, and an I-601A provisional waiver. You get both of those approved. You don't have any criminal record. You have waivers. You would go back to El Salvador for 2 to 3 weeks, pick up your green card, and come back, even while you're in removal proceedings. That's how I would handle it. But you got to get that I-130 approved first. It does take about 15, 16 months to schedule those bona fide marriage exemption interviews. If you don't hear anything by fall, give me a call.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your help. Okay. Appreciate it.
My pleasure. Let's go to Oscar in Seattle.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well.
Good. What is your question, Oscar?
Well, my first question is I applied for asylum in 2019, August. And up to now, I haven't received any interview. I'm just wondering what's going on.
Because they do last in, first out.
Pardon?
They go last in, first out. So the people who filed in 20 and 21 are getting interviews before the people who filed in 2019 are getting interviews before the people who filed in 2018. And because of COVID, a lack of resources, everything is almost grinded to a halt.
Okay, I got you. My second question is, can I travel to a country closer to my home country and meet my family?
No, how would you come back?
I mean, that's what I'm gonna ask.
You can't until you get granted the asylum. Once you're granted asylum, then you can get a refugee travel document to travel. But until you're granted asylum, you leave, you're not coming back. You've now gone to a safe third country. So the government's going to say, go apply for asylum in that country. Why are you applying for asylum in America? You just went to another country. Go apply for asylum there. Now, if you want to get this case over with quickly, if you have a really good claim for asylum, let's review it. And if you have one, let's file or threaten to file a mandamus to get you an appointment.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Let's go to Sarah in Dallas, Texas. Sarah. Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Goop. Let's go to Dudu in San Francisco. Dudu.
Hi, Mr. Brad.
Hi, how are you?
Doing good. I'm just calling for a friend because she doesn't speak much English. I'm trying to help her out here.
Sure.
So, to file her VAWA, besides the 360, she just needs to send a 485, 765, and I-131, right?
Correct.
Okay. She just got her work permit and advance parole, but since she's going to file for the divorce, can she use that advance parole between now and the time she files the I-360, or it's going to be voided?
She has a pending adjustment. As long as she has a pending adjustment, she can use the advance parole. If she files the I-360, when she gets the receipt for the I-360, she should write the immigration office where the pending adjustment is, let them know that she's converting her adjustment from an I-130 adjustment to an I-360 adjustment. She wouldn't even need to file a new adjustment application.
No, I get that. But between that time from the
as long as you have a pending adjustment,
can she?
As long as she has a pending adjustment, she can travel. Would I travel safely without filing the VAWA? I wouldn't, because she's in the process of getting divorced. She leaves. There's no guarantee that the adjustment is still pending while she's out of the country. Maybe they deny it, and now she has a problem when she comes back. She says, well, I'm filing a VAWA. Well, where is it? How come you didn't file it? So file the VAWA first and then travel. That's my advice.
Okay, sure. My third question was just this, because I was thinking it's not really clear when you read about it. Because the parole from the first adjustment, and I believe it's going to expire, right? Because it's only valid for 1 year. And I'm pretty sure she's going to want another one from the I-360, the second parole, right?
No. The parole is based on a pending adjustment. It's not based on an I-360. It's the I-360.
But can you get a parole?
Yes, it's the I-360 that keeps the adjustment pending, which allows her to apply for the advanced parole.
Oh, it makes sense now.
Right.
Okay, gotcha. And okay, makes total sense. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Okay. Let's go to Sonu in South Bend, Indiana. Go. Let's go to Shay in Trenton, New Jersey.
Hello.
Hi, Shay. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you, Mr.
Good.
Brad?
What's going on?
I am calling to find out about the public charge, if it's still a thing.
It is a thing.
Oh, so it did not remove as
Can
yet.
you do me a favor and just lower the music
you
in the
hearing
background?
me?
I hear you, but I'm hearing some children's music in the
Okay, give me
background.
1 second.
All right.
So you saying it's still a thing?
It is a thing.
So they did not, it did not change.
It has changed. That's a different question. You asked me, is
Okay.
public charge a thing? It's a thing. It is a thing. It means that it still
Okay,
exists, but it exists in a different form than under Donald Trump. It exists in the pre-Trump form, which is you
Okay.
have to be able to prove that your spouse or whoever's sponsoring you can afford to support you 125% above the poverty level.
Okay, so if I was supposed to file for, like, what do you call it now? Food stamps, would it affect my status?
I don't know what your status is. What's your status?
I do not have my stuff as yet.
Who are you applying for food stamps for? Not
My baby.
Your baby, that's okay. For you, no.
Okay. So I could do it for her.
Correct. She's a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
All right?
And it won't affect me.
Will not affect you. It's for her. For her.
Okay. Okay, thank you very
You're
much,
welcome.
Mr. Brown.
It's a thing. It is still a thing, poverty guidelines. Let's go to Addie in Dallas. Addie. 80. Addie. ADY in Dallas, Texas. Let's put ADY on hold. Let's go to Leisha in Orlando, Florida. Leisha.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
What can I do to help you?
My question is, I came here on a J1 visa. I stayed due to family problems. What I want to know, is it possible if my mother is a citizen to file for me?
Yes, your mom can file for you if you've overstayed your time. You're going to be on a waiting list for a green card. I assume you're over 21. Are you single or married?
I'm single and I'm over 21.
I assume that. And your mom's a citizen or a resident?
Resident.
So yeah, she can file for you as long as you remain unmarried, but it's going to be a 5, 6, 7 year wait for a green card. And most likely you would have to do a provisional waiver to go home and come back.
Okay. So,
but the answer, my answer to you is, because you're going to say, oh God, I don't want to wait 5, 6, 7 years. I don't blame you. And you may say, oh God, I don't want to do a provisional waiver, go home and come back. I don't blame you. But given the choice of doing nothing, which is worse, and filing an I-130, let your mom file an I-130. Worry about what the law is in 5, 6, 7 years from now. Maybe it'll be shorter. Maybe Biden changes the law and speeds it up. Get something in. It's always good to get something in. And you could always do something in the future, doing something different. Maybe you get married, you fall in love in a couple of years. Who knows? But do something. File something. People who do nothing get nothing. That's my advice.
Okay.
All right.
Then that's the question I have.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Let's go to Tanisha in Queens.
Hello.
Hi, Tanisha.
Hi, good evening, brother, and your team.
How are you?
So I have a question. I'm fine, thank you. My question is, I'm curious because my children are back home in Jamaica and they're waiting interview very soon. Do they really question children 10 and 14 years old?
They can. It's not going to be a grilling, but yeah, they can.
It was my husband that filed for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they could say, what's your stepdad's name? Have you ever met him? That type of thing.
Okay. All right, then.
All right.
Thank you.
But you
very
have
much,
your
sir.
green card?
Yes.
Okay, so my advice would be, if you're concerned for your children, you and your husband, when they're time for the interview, go back to Jamaica and bring them in as a family.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
and then you answer the questions for your children.
Okay. That makes sense, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right?
All right, but thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much.
Let's go to Ali in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yes. Hello.
Hi, Ali.
Yeah. Hi. Hi, Brett.
What's going on?
My question is, me and my sister, we came 2016.
Where you from?
And then Somalia.
Somalia. Okay.
Yeah, and we applied the asylum 2016, and then on 2018 we went to interview with my sister same time, and then we wait for a decision until 2019. My sister got 2019 approved, but
Great.
they did not give me a decision until now. I don't know why.
What was your decision?
Asylum.
I know. Was your sister FGM?
Yes.
Okay. What was your claim for asylum?
And minority.
Okay. Did you win your case or you lost it? Because you and your sister had two different cases.
Yes.
Your sister won. What about you?
Mine is like disabled.
Disabled?
I'm disabled. Yeah.
Okay, but my question to you is, your sister won her asylum claim, so congratulations to her. You said you did not hear at the same time. And my question to you is, have you heard anything since?
No.
You still have not heard anything?
Yeah, and me and my lawyer, we let letter of inquiry. We make letter of inquiry times, but we do not get respond.
Okay. Well, I don't know why. I'm not sure what your claim is, but I think it's good to have a second set of eyes take a look at your case, and then let's see what we can do to help you. So hold on one second, okay? Let's go to Asafan in Queens. Asafan.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Yes. Hi. Good day. My name is Tyrone.
Tyrone. Oh, Asafan.
Yes,
okay.
Good. Just the volume. Let me increase the volume. Yes. Hi.
Go ahead.
I applied. My daughter filed for me in 2019. She is she was born.
But by the way, Asafan, I just want to say, hold on to your thought 1 second. Jessica Kalimi on Facebook said, Brad, he didn't get an answer. That's what he's saying. I understood he didn't get an answer. I don't know why he didn't get an answer. He wasn't really able to describe to me what his claim for asylum was. Why he didn't get an answer, I don't know. They should have given him an answer. That's why I said, let me review his file and we'll figure it out. Go ahead, Asafan.
Yes, hi. And she filed for me in 2019.
Who filed for you in 2019?
My daughter.
Your daughter, okay. And where are you originally from?
I am. Where is she originally from?
Where are you originally from?
Oh, I am originally from Dominica.
Dominica?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you come to the United States?
I came here on a visa.
Okay.
Yes. So the problem is, it's not really me. I actually got my green card.
Great.
Great. So it was lovely. But then during the time when I filed, I also put my wife through the same system too. She also filed for my.
Let me ask you a question. Is your wife her mother or stepmother?
My wife is her stepmother.
Okay. And you married this woman before she was 18 years old?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So continue.
So, my wife, she already got her travel documents and her work permit.
Right.
So that was extremely nice. But we are still waiting to get some kind of an interview
Did you file yours and your wife's at the same time and you got through and your wife did not?
Yes.
How long has your wife been waiting?
My wife has been waiting now for how long, babe?
We did it in 2019.
So we did it in 2019.
Okay. Does your wife have... put her on the phone. I hear her in the background.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Hi, ma'am.
Yes,
no worries. How are you? Nice to meet you.
fine.
Let me ask you a question. Nobody knows who you are. You have any skeletons in your closet that we need to know about?
Yes, that's what I was trying to explain.
Okay, so what is the skeleton?
the lawyer that we dealt with, I came here in 2016. Right. I have 2 kids that were born here. One is 14 years old and one is 3 years old.
Okay.
So I should say that I came here, had my kids, went back. Right. But in 26, but that was for the first one. But the second child, the one that is 3 years old, he was born in 2017. So I came in 2016, decided to stay, and was introduced to a lawyer through a friend, and he did a filing for me to allow me to get a not green card, to allow me to get a work permit.
What kind of filing?
A VAWA. I found out after that it was a VAWA.
The VAWA was based on what abuse? Who are you married to?
I have no idea, and that was the only
All right.
issue.
That's why your husband got through, because he was squeaky clean. And you have some skeletons that make it bumpy along the way. You got 2 issues. One is, what was your intent when you came here and gave birth? You came home and left, came back. The visitor's visa is not a birthing visa. So they're looking into misrepresentation there. And they're also looking into what this VAWA thing was. Maybe this lawyer claims you were married to someone else. And if they did, then they're going to question, well, what's your true marriage? To this fake abusive guy, to your husband? Because if your marriage to your husband is not legit, then you can't be the mother of your can't be a stepmother to this woman who's filing for you. It also could just be an absolute bogus application, and they may want to slap some sort of misrepresentation issue on you there.
Now, to be honest with you,
no, I don't need the truth right now, because you don't have an attorney-client privilege conversation. So just listen. Okay. So what I would suggest, let me tell you 2 things. Number 1, okay? It's possible, and I don't know enough about your case, that they're looking into misrepresentation issues for you, and that's why your case is taking longer. And then ultimately, you may get denied for misrepresentation. We don't know. I don't know enough about your case yet. Or you may get through and no issue. It's also possible. If you get denied for misrepresentation, the general rule is if you're sponsored by a U.S. citizen, son or daughter over the age of 21, there's no waiver, except your husband already got through with his green card. So if they do slap you with some sort of misrepresentation thing, you're going to do a waiver through your husband who already got his green card. Okay? So there's a pathway to wiggle through and get your green card anyway. I think at this point, since you've been waiting for 2-3 years and you know you're going to have a problem, that you should get a good lawyer involved.
Okay.
Hold on. I don't know if you're talking to a good lawyer. I think you are. Hold on. Justin in the Bronx. Justin in the Bronx. How are you?
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
I'm all right. I just have a quick question. I filed the I-130 last year, March, for my wife, and it was approved March of this year. Only question I have to ask is, I haven't received a welcome letter from NVC as yet. I did reach out to them, and they told me that I would have to wait 60 days. But currently, it's at...
The welcome letter or the fee bill letter?
Yeah, I guess the fee bill or whatever.
Right. So, in other words, your wife filed an I-130. You're not eligible to adjust your status here?
No, she's not here. She's
you're the U.S. citizen filing for your wife. My apologies.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. Okay, so she's in another country. You got the I-130 approved, and the next step is it gets transferred to the National Visa Center. They send you a letter saying, it's actually, the first thing they send you is an option letter. Who's representing you? You check that off, you send it back. Then they send you a letter, say, pay the fees. And you haven't gotten any of that.
Yeah, I haven't received any
Have
of that.
you called the National Visa Center?
Yes, I did reach out to them, and they said they haven't received it from USCIS. And
how long has it been?
Out to, on the app that I have for USCIS, it's, let me see, it says 64 days.
Did you get an approval letter in the mail?
From USCIS?
Yeah.
Yeah, I received. That's the funny thing, because when they approved it on, I think they approved it March 12th. I received the letter, I think March 15th or 16th.
Okay, so I would assume that in the next couple of days or a week or two that they will receive it. If the end of June comes around, give them another 2, 3, 4 weeks. You still don't hear anything, then give me a call and we'll see what we can do.
Because when I reached out to USCIS, she told me to give it until like June 11th.
Yeah, I think give it to mid-June. That's what I was suggesting to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right.
Let's go to Nude Who Knew.
Yeah.
Nude Who Knew. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Brad. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Right. I have 2 questions.
Go ahead.
First question. Yeah. I applied for VAWA on 2017. They denied my case. I appealed. They denied again my case, and they relocate my case. And I tried to.
What do you mean they relocate your case? I don't know what relocate your case means.
Yeah, they relocate my case to the first USCI who denied my case, who make the decision.
Okay. So all right. So you filed VAWA, got denied. Now what?
Yeah, they say they denied because they say it's not a fit marriage.
Oh, they didn't believe it was a real marriage.
Yeah.
Did they believe you were abused?
But I apply for appeal. I did everything. I don't know. They didn't change the decision.
So your question is what to me?
Now my question is, when the case is relocated, what I can do?
Did you divorce this woman?
Yeah, I divorced her older than 2 years.
Then there's nothing you can do, because you can only, I was going to say refile a new VAWA, but you could only file a new VAWA within 2 years of a divorce. You already got divorced. You weren't able to win your case, and there's nothing now I can do. It's already been appealed and denied. So now we got to, you're like everybody else. We got to find a new way to get you a green card.
Okay, but the second question here, how I can prove my non-citizen to my university to get the financial aid in my case now?
How can you do it? What to where to who?
How I can prove my non-citizen to my university to get my financial aid?
You can't get financial aid from a university until you have a green card.
If where? Sorry?
You are not eligible for financial aid from the U.S. government until you get a green card.
Because I don't have green card yet?
Correct.
Okay. Now what I can do? Not anything to do?
You need to figure out a new way to get a green card. Your VAWA case is done. You for whatever reason, it was either rightfully or wrongly denied. Doesn't really matter at this point. It's denied. There's nothing any human being can do about it because you've been divorced for more than 2 years. At this point, we got to start from scratch and find a new way to get a green card. So your question is, how do I get a green card? Well, that's for a consultation. Yeah. I don't know how to get you a green card on a 2-minute telephone call on our show.
Can I go to courts, immigration courts?
Do you have family here?
No, nobody. How I can do and bring my case to immigration case?
If you go to immigration court, you'll get deported. I don't think that's a smart move. Hold on, you need a consultation, all right? We're not going to figure out your life on the show. Hold on 1 second. This show is to help people and answer their questions. It's not, I'm going to figure out your whole life show. Maybe that's for a different show. Different show will be figure out your life live every day. We'll do that one day. But right now, it's just Brad Show Live. If you didn't get your immigration questions answered on our show, you can always follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein. If you follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, I will try to answer your immigration question. If it's one of those figure out my life questions, I'm going to tell you need a consultation. If it's I got an immigration question, I will definitely answer it. Either way, you can follow me at Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. Send me a DM. You're corresponding with me personally. And sometimes it takes me a day or two to get back to everybody, but I do get back to everybody. I do answer everything that comes my way on my DMs on Instagram. You could also follow me or follow our show at Brad Show Live. If you can't handle 2 hours of Brad, Jonathan, and Vanessa, but you can handle 60 seconds of us or 30 seconds of us, follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. And of course now, You can also follow us on TikTok. People love TikTok. It is growing faster than any other of our social media platforms. TikTok is growing the fastest. People love. We've been putting up our speed rounds. People love it. Follow us at Bradshaw Live on TikTok. And Jonathan and Vanessa.
Yep, you guys can follow me at Jonathan Elias TV on Instagram.
And you guys can find me at Vanessa.ContrerasTV.
And later in the show, I will be speaking with Armenian American artist and activist Rima Makaryan about how her public art, Monarch and Skate projects in Sonoma County, California, and her recent trip to Armenia documenting refugees displaced after the 2020 war is coming together.
Now we are going to hear the #1 change Bradshaw Live VIP member, Stargirl Mika, aka Tamika Hewitt, would like to see in U.S. immigration reform. Now, squad, we want to know what you guys want to see as well, okay? So make sure you let us know in the comments.
What is the #1 change you want to see in U.S. immigration reform?
I would like them to change the timing. For me, the timing is taking so long. The case I filed, you have to have patience. And the reason why I have patience is because I believe in foreign Bernstein. Like, I really believe in foreign Bernstein. So I have the patience now. But I think they need to not let it take so long. Cut the processing times. I think they really need to fix that.
Stargirl Mika! We always got you. Let's go to something we like to call social media check-in. What do we got?
All right, first one comes from a Brad Squad VIP member. Now, you remember I tell you guys every day how to become a Brad Squad VIP member. It's super easy, especially for the newcomers that are watching for the first time. All you have to do, it's not on this page, but go back to the search engine on Facebook, that little bar, and put in Brad Squad VIP. It will pop up. It's going to be a page and a group that you have to join. So press join, request it, and we will accept it. Now, the biggest incentive that you will get for being a Brad Squad VIP member is you can throw your questions in anytime throughout the day. We're going to throw a post up and say the first 5 questions that we get, we're going to throw those up, and we're going to answer those before any of the social media questions that we get on the live show. So these first 5 are going to be a VIP squad member that actually took this incentive, okay? Now, Lisa Walker, first one, Brad Squad VIP, asks, what are the steps after you file your N400 online in 2021? I got my green card in 2017 and I'm still married. They're saying they will get the info from my last biometric appointment, so I don't know how long the case will be. I live in Florida.
About 10 months. Next thing you're going to hear is come for an interview for your naturalization. Bring proof that you and your spouse are residing in a bona fide marriage. You know what a bona fide marriage is if you watch Bradshaw Live. You physically live with the person. You have a financial relationship with them.
Young Kearney P, another Brad Squad VIP, asked, how long does it take when you send the evidence for your I-751 request for immigration?
It should take about 120 days, but probably because of COVID cutbacks, it's 7-8 months.
All right, Stargirl Mika, another Brad Squad VIP. You guys just saw her.
We just saw her.
Just saw.
Yes.
Absolutely. She's taking advantage of the show.
Yeah,
listen.
Man, she certainly is.
I love it. Okay, if someone has a, do you know this CO9P?
Yeah, that's a work permit through adjustment.
Okay, yeah, CO9P work authorization, and it expires in July, but they already filed for renewal in April. Will they receive the new EAD card by July 21st? If not, what documents would they need to use to show their employer that they have the 180-day extension? And what documents do they need to take to the DMV in Florida so they can renew their driver's license, which also expires the day the EAD expires?
Just the receipt notice from immigration that you have the application received and it's pending with the expired work permit.
Bonnie Akath, another Brad Squad VIP member. Before I change my status, can I get medical insurance and open a bank account? I am currently an AB1 visa?
I'm currently on a B visa, which would be a tourist visa. Yeah, if you can, that would be great. If you can, why not? You may need a social security number, which you don't have, but if you can do it without, fantastic, go for it.
Stargirl Mika got some fans up in the comment section. I like this.
Yeah, they're going crazy on her right now, I see.
They're going crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you always say it. We have the best looking squad on the internet.
We do. We do.
All right.
I'm surprised because, I'm not the best looking person, but I seem to surround myself with I seem to surround myself with beautiful co-hosts and squads.
Yeah, all right.
Yes.
You are.
You
are.
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer Evans, Brad Squad VIP member. What is an I-129 form?
It's an application for a non-immigrant visa, and it covers all sorts of different non-immigrant visas. I'm going to cough, excuse me. Go ahead now. Just had to announce that.
Pascal Atal Haddad, Lampshades on Facebook. My cousin is a green card holder, but she didn't come to the USA until 3 years ago. Can she come back without a problem at the airport? Her son is a 19-year-old citizen studying abroad.
So she's been out of the country for 3 years? Is that the question?
My cousin is a green card holder, but she didn't come to the US until 3 years ago. It seems like she's been out of the country up until 3 years ago.
Well, then she's here. So what's the question?
Can she come back without a problem at the airport? Her son is a 19-year-old citizen.
Well, if she's here, that makes no sense. So let's assume she has been out of the country for 3 years. She may have a problem. She would need an SB1 visa.
Anna Watkins on YouTube. Is it possible to apply for public benefits like SNAP under prima facie determination? And if so, what are the requirements?
Yes, you can, and you just need the prima facie determination and some sort of photo ID.
Stacey Ann Purrier on Facebook. I want to adopt my niece from Jamaica. How do I go about it? She's already 16 years old.
It's too late, unfortunately. By the way, Jorge Silva you don't have to pay $5 for me to answer your question, Jorge. But since I see it here, I feel terrible. So let me answer it. If I plan for IRS makes me have bad moral character, I never miss a payment. No, that is not moral character for, I guess, assuming you want to file for your citizenship, you'll be able to file for your citizenship.
Tanny Smith on YouTube. If a green card holder came to the U.S. on July 28th, 2016, when should he file for his citizenship?
When did he come?
July 28th, 2016. You can say 5.
So July would be 2021, June, May 1st, 2021. Now.
It's the 5 years, right?
Yeah, 5 years less 3 months. Yeah.
I'm getting there.
I'm going to tell you, what is it, 2 years? You started to learn something, Yo-Yo.
I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Maming Eliza on YouTube. Is it possible to be petitioned by a second cousin? I've overstayed my visa and I've been exploited from overworking, and immigration promised me that they would petition me for a green card way before all these occurrences happen.
There's no second cousin sponsorship, but there is a T visa for any sort of immigration, involuntary servitude, or human trafficking. So if you feel something like that, maybe I heard a little tinge of that in your question, you should give us a call.
Marcos Linas on YouTube. My VAWA was approved in March 2020 and my I-485 was sent in December 2018. I was married to a U.S. citizen and my I-485 in Vermont is out of processing time. I sent a letter and still have no response. What can I do?
Threaten a mandamus.
Spira Shroff on YouTube. When will the F4 in India speed up? My priority date is 2009. When do you think it would become current?
The F4 of India. When will it speed up in the future? He is asking me, what is this gentleman's name?
Shipra.
Okay.
Shipra.
He is asking me to think about what the future will look like. What will the future look like? I don't know what the future will look like. Let's see where they are. The F4 category for India right now is November 8th, 2006. So you got at least 3, 4, 5 years away. So don't quit your job so fast, unfortunately.
Okay, Patricia Wiltshire, Facebook. Can someone who has proof of landing here legally file their papers on their own?
If they're in legal status, perhaps. If they're abused spouse, perhaps. But generally, you need a sponsor.
Anessa Golding on YouTube, do you know if there will be a second round of lottery for H-1B visa? On the USCIS website, my sponsor said it shows that I'm still submitted.
I don't think there's going to be another lottery, unfortunately.
Edwards Natrice on Facebook. Can someone who got injured on the job and overstayed their visa due to their injuries get status without being married?
Maybe you can request to be put back into status non-pro-tunc because you are incapacitated, perhaps depending on the extent of your injuries.
Theo Manning on YouTube. If I've worked here in New York for 6 to 8 months every season for the past 8 years, can I apply to get a green card?
No, working as a seasonal worker for 8 years doesn't make you eligible for a green card.
Bonnie on Facebook, 2 questions. When do you file for AOS and when can you get a work authorization?
You file for AOS when you're eligible for your green card, and either you are eligible for adjustment, meaning you're still in legal status, or you're filing in a category that doesn't require you to be in legal status, and you apply for a work permit adjacent to your adjustment application by filing the I-765. That's the work permit form, and you check off on the bottom C9, which is the basis for the work permit that you have a pending adjustment application.
Adekemi Dare on YouTube. I filed a VAWA. They wrote back to me that they have started working on my case and that it will take them till September 2021. But since August last year, I have not heard from them. What should I do?
What kind of application did this person file?
They filed VAWA.
And when was it filed?
Since August of last year.
Okay, so VAWA is taking over 2 years. So if your case is impending at least 2 years, then you're in processing time.
Charlie Chocolate on YouTube. I would like to know if one can get approved for a legal permanent residence, and if one would want to travel, would they have to get any stamp from the local field office?
If they have a green card, you don't have to get any local stamp. If you don't have a green card and you're approved for lawful residence, then you would need a stamp in your passport. If you have a pending adjustment, you would need the advance parole.
Kimberlyn Burris on YouTube. If USCIS accepted my biometrics fee for an AOS through marriage, does that mean they accepted your AOS application? And how soon are biometrics being scheduled?
It means they accepted it. Biometrics are being delayed 3, 4, 5, 6 months right now. 3 more, Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Okay, Oscar Daniel on YouTube. I'm an asylum seeker and I applied for my asylum in 2019. Haven't received my interview since then. Can I expedite my case? And can I travel to a country closer to my home country? That way my family can visit me.
I think Oscar had called earlier. The answer is you can file a pre-litigation or mandamus or a mandamus to try to extend your case or make your case go faster, but you can't go travel to see your family until your asylum is approved. Other than that, you self-deported.
Okay, last one, David Agbu on YouTube. Can I still file for VAWA as asylum after 10 months of divorce? Also, my son is going to be 18 by November and became a legal citizen in 2016 when he was 12 years old. Can he qualify for DACA?
Wait, if he became a legal citizen when he was 12, why would he need DACA? He's a citizen. So if he came here at 12, he may qualify for DACA if he was here before 2007, which he wouldn't have been because he's 18 now. So that's only 6 years ago. So he does not qualify for DACA at the moment. As far as your VAWA is concerned, you can file for VAWA even if you have a pending asylum.
Okay. Hi, I have something to say one more time. So I'm seeing some people asking, Sandra, you're asking how to become a VIP member. So it's super easy. You're already on Facebook. All you have to do is go to the search engine on the top and put in Brad Squad, and Brad Squad Immigration Law Advice should come up. All you have to do is click join and we will accept you. That's it. It is free, and you get all of the incentives that you can get as a VIP member. So it's super easy. Just put in Brad Squad and the Immigration Law Advice should be right under it, and then click join. There you go.
Is that it?
That's it.
So it was a statement, the last one, not a question.
Yes.
All right, I promised one last question. So I see Karen asked the question here on YouTube. Brad, this is my question. My state ID is lost. I can't get it back. They keep asking me for my green card. I have a working permit that is expired. You can only get a state ID if you can show that you're in legal status with a work permit or something like that. So if you lost your state ID and you need to renew it again, you need proof that you're in legal status here to do it. Except if you're in New York State. New York State's not requiring proof of legal status to get a state ID. All right. Yesterday, I spoke with Rima Makaryan, an Armenian American artist and activist based in California. Rima recently traveled back to Armenia to document the plight of the Armenian refugees displaced after the 2020 war. Today, we will hear some very specific stories of the people she met, highlighted in her project titled The Forgotten Faces of Artsakh. Let's watch.
Rima Makaryan is an Armenian American artist and 18-year-old immigrant rights activist. Her art and her work spans from California all the way to Armenia. She joins me today to discuss her passion for social justice in the United States and abroad, and her recent trip to Armenia, where she worked with and documented the stories of refugees displaced after the 2020 war in that region. Hi, and thank you very much for coming on, Rima. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
You were recently in Armenia working on a project called The Forgotten Faces of Artsakh. Tell us about that.
So I think it was September and October when this war broke out in Armenia.
Well, let's have a little background. There was a war in Armenia between Azerbaijan and the ethnic Armenians over a slice of land. And there was a lot of displaced people, and it doesn't make the news a lot, but it was a horrible situation what was going on there. And what made you want to go back to Armenia and document this?
I just couldn't sit still is, I think, the best answer. When this was going on, it did not feel right to be here in the US and kind of watching that unveil passively. So I really had no choice but to go, for me personally. So I really wanted to make sure that this story was not forgotten. And I think as a child, one of the things that really embedded that kind of activist spirit in me was my parents telling me about the Armenian genocide and always feeling like it was forgotten, that it was ignored, and that no one was telling the story. And I would always tell myself, like, if I was alive during that time, there's no way people wouldn't have heard about this. Like, I would make sure that people knew. This was, like, as a child, my fantasy. And then the war broke out in October and September, and I realized that this was kind of the equivalent of that in my time. So I had to go, and I had to make sure that this was not forgotten by the world.
Now, you met some people I want to specifically talk about. For example, Inga and Maroid. They were 13-year-old and mother. Tell us about what you learned about them.
They were at the orphanage, so this was one of the many different families living under one roof. And, I was going around from interview to interview, and I came across this family. And most families are pretty open to me filming them, asking them questions, things like that. But this particular one was not open to that at all. In fact, it was the 13-year-old boy who was strictly against this idea. He would flinch every time I pointed the camera at him or anything like that. And what struck me the most before I go into kind of their story is kind of the pride that this 13-year-old boy had, and wanting to retain that pride and not wanting to appear like a victim or wanting to appear weak and to not be portrayed in this point in his life. And he kept talking about, I asked him, do you want to go to school? He's like, I want to go to school back home. And that clearly wasn't a possibility. And we asked him again, like, that's not that's not possible. And he just kind of, his voice cracked a little bit. He said, no, I want to go home. So that was a very touching moment.
Can you picture yourself in the shoes? Because, 13, you're 18. So that was only 5 years ago for you. Had you not immigrated to America, and maybe you could have been in that little boy's position?
I can definitely picture myself, and I think some of it comes back to, the way that we immigrated as well. I mean, for me, obviously, I knew I had a home to return to when we came to the US, but just kind of leaving everything behind, this idea of not being able to go back to what you believe is your home, is something that is completely earth-shattering, and it almost creates like a cognitive dissonance. Like, you don't really understand how this is possible. You've spent your entire life here, and it's like shattering your entire reality.
And what did you learn from the mother? She was in the orphanage with nowhere to help house her family.
Right. And I loved her story in particular because I think it represented a lot of different stories, a lot of other stories that I came across. So this was the third time that Inga had to kind of leave her home, and not this home, but different homes. She fled after a different massacre in Baku, Azerbaijan. And like I said, there've been so many different conflicts between the two different people. I think it was back in a couple of decades ago that there was a huge massacre in Baku, Azerbaijan, and Armenians were forced to flee that home. And then when she came to Artsakh, another conflict broke out and her home was completely destroyed and she had to start over again. And so this was the third time that this woman had to start from scratch, from nothing, and having to rebuild another life. And I could tell that at this point she had kind of lost that spirit, or at least in that moment. I think a lot of these people have a strength that I can't describe, being so used to living in a zone where you're constantly under threat, and they have never been afraid to want to rebuild again. Never. A lot of families were saying that even if there's nothing left in that land, just let me go back and I will rebuild my home from scratch. But Inga was telling me that she would never cross kind of the pathway to go to Qarabağ again, to Artsakh again. She said never, 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 never. So that's the story of Inga and Noray.
Do you think that the conflict is more an ethnic conflict or a religious conflict between Muslims and Christians?
I would say it's more ethnic than religious. I think the religion kind of comes with that. I think that's one of the root causes it started in the first place, just because, again, Armenia is just a minority in that region and wanting to retain that culture. And also in the fact that they refuse to change their religion. They were told you can live if you convert. And they did not agree to that. Or if you forget your language, we'll let you live. And again, that was not something that Armenians were going to do ever. So I would say it's started with religion, but now it's evolved into kind of a historical precedent, if that makes sense. And kind of remembering that history and saying that I could never look you in the eye without remembering the death of my great-grandparents.
And you met some other people as well. You met a soldier, Hovo?
That's right, yes.
How old was Hovo?
Hovo was 18. Hovo was actually my childhood friend, my family friend. You know, our fathers were very, very close. He's my age. He's 18 years old, but he's no longer a child in any shape or form. We are, my world and his world cannot be compared in any shape or form.
Tell me what you learned. What did he share with you?
He shared with me, I think one of the things that struck me was kind of the first moment that he knew the war had started. You know, he was there for 3 days. He was, you know, in Armenia, there's a mandatory draft. So all 18-year-old boys at some point have to go and serve for 2 years in the military. And he was sent off to that region specifically, Artsakh. And so he had been there for 3 days when, you know, the conflict erupted. And so here we have an 18-year-old kid who, you know, just showed up to this new place, and now he has to go to the trenches, quite literally go to the trenches and fight.
Did he describe the horrors of what he experienced and saw?
He told me about the days where he lost his best friend to the conflict. He told me about the days where, you know, he would simply have to kind of pretend he was playing a game and kind of dehumanize his enemy in order to be able to, you know, fight against them and know that it's either me or you, and I'm gonna choose me. That's just how it has to be.
And you had also met an older man.
Savedisyan.
Right, and he talked about his grandchildren. And tell us about what you learned from him.
I visited his home. It was a very cold, kind of windy day. And so we go into this like little house and up on a hill in the middle of nowhere. And then we have this entire multi-generational family. And I think that's something that a lot of Americans might not be used to. But we have kind of the great-grandparent, the grandparent, the children and the grandchildren all in one scene together. And so as we were interviewing, this man was silent the entire time. But I could see kind of tears welling up. And eventually I turned to him and decided to speak to him. And so he spoke in the thickest kind of Qarabağ and Artsakh accent ever. And there's so many different dialects that I could barely understand what he was saying. And I had to have someone translate to me parts of it. But he spoke about his homeland, which is Shushi, which is one of the regions that we have now lost and no longer belong to Armenia. He spoke about the nature and kind of how connected they were to the land itself, the physical land, and what that meant to him. And the line that struck me the most was, I asked him, what does your homeland mean to you? And he said, gold. It's my gold. It's my dear. It's my beloved.
What are you going to do with all these videos?
The videos, the photos, the short stories, all of them, they are meant to be shared. They are meant to be heard and seen. So my goal now is to make sure that as many people as possible know about what happened and that they can see these photos and really understand what is going on, to hear their voices, to hear their stories.
Is there a place that we can go right now?
Yes, there is my website, Forgotten Faces of Artsakh. On that website, you can find the full collection of stories organized by families and themes, and you can also donate. And that is kind of the final piece. We're starting a sustainable development project to help these families really on the long term and not just, first aid.
And you're also bringing the Monarch Project, your mural project, to Armenia.
Also another interesting marriage between, I guess my two passions. A lot of the villages in Armenia and, where these displaced people are living have zero access to any kinds of arts education. And, youth grow up immersed in a world that only has to do with agriculture and just their own little bubble of their remote village. So what we're trying to do is to really make sure that, children have options and kids have options as they're growing up. And so we'll be sending kits to Armenia, little art kits, along with video tutorials to teach them how to paint monarch butterflies and other things like that, to make sure that everyone has access to arts education, even remote villages in the middle of nowhere.
Where can we find out more about the so-called Monarch Project?
It's www.socoimm.org, and you can see the full gallery of all the pieces that I've done. We have a bunch of posters up that you guys can purchase, t-shirts, all kinds of merch. And all of those proceeds go directly towards creating more public art projects in Sonoma County and I guess now in Armenia.
It's amazing what you've done as an 18-year-old. You've done more as an 18-year-old who immigrated here as an 8-year-old than people have done in a whole lifetime. So it's just amazing. You're also a freshman at Stanford, right?
That's right.
Tell us, what is your American dream?
My American dream is for everyone to be able to fully participate in the pursuit of happiness. And I think that's a very kind of basic concept, but I think it means a lot of different things. I think to simply have the freedom to live your life in a way where you're not in fear. And I think that's a very, very basic minimum, but just to be able to have the opportunity to chase your happiness to the fullest extent, whatever that might mean.
Rima Makaryan, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate you spending some time here on Bradshaw Live.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Speed round time.
All right.
I'm going to answer 9 immigration questions in 50 seconds. If I don't answer them properly, Julian, the TriCaster guy, will blow up today.
All right. We ready?
Sorry, Julian. Go ahead.
Can an undocumented person get a green card any other way than marriage?
Yes.
Do tourists have to leave the U.S. if a family member files I-130 for them?
Depends.
Can an undocumented person travel within the U.S. with a passport?
Yes.
Will my R1 visa application pass while my I-130 is pending?
R1 pass while an I-130 is pending? No, because that's a non-immigrant visa.
Can a person win a VAWA case without evidence?
No.
Does USCIS search social media to determine citizenship eligibility?
Yes.
Do they punish you for not leaving on voluntary departure?
Yes.
On a C1D visa, can I marry a citizen and get a green card?
Not just no.
Can an asylee travel to nearby countries with a travel document?
Yes.
Right on the check. Yep.
Did I beat that? Yep. There we go, balloons. Woo! That was very hot. I was scorching my beard. My beard was scorching, guys. I was in shock. I didn't know whether to duck or dance. Do I duck? Do I dance? I'm dancing. By the way, there was like, can we go back through the questions? I just want to make sure we got.
I highlighted it. I highlighted it, and you did great because you cut yourself off. I highlighted it. Do tourists have to leave the U.S. if a family member files I-130?
It depends on who it is. I mean, if it's your dad and you're under 21, no. It depends if you're adjusting your status. It depends if you want to do a provisional waiver. There's so many depends in there. I'm like, I could have answered that in 10 minutes, you know?
Right.
Just depends.
Depends.
I like that you just stuck to depends.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to get back to that question. All right. Comments of the day. By the way, Jessica Leamy feels I lost and I was out of luck and blew up. Thanks, Jessica Leamy. Thanks.
Listen.
Thanks.
We said she never misses a show, so
yeah.
Her say so matters.
It does. It does.
Say what she won't.
It does.
All right.
I'm going to also do a pre-comment of the day also, just to make myself feel better after Jessica Leamy told me I lost.
Go ahead.
Tolly. Great show today, squad. As always, thumbs up 100%.
There we go.
Now I feel better. All right, comments of the day.
All right. Our first one comes from a new viewer, Amanda Chung, saying, my first time here, but I like the energy.
All right. Thank you, Amanda.
All right. Stick around and come back.
That's right.
Okay, next one comes from More Grace saying, hey, Brad, thank you so much. I have been listening to you and I followed all your instructions. I got my green card.
Hey, congratulations.
Yay. Woo, woo. All right, our third comment of the day comes from Anait Gazarian saying, Mr. Brad, thank you for interviewing Rima Makaryan and showing her documentary about Armenian refugees due to the war from Nagorno-Karabakh. I think I said it right. So thank you for showing that.
Thank you. Thank you for watching. And I really, it was wonderful actually speaking with her. Amazing young girl at age 18 to have, you know, as I said to her, I said, people don't do that in a lifetime, let alone immigrate from another country and in 5 years go back and do what she's done.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, next one. Miloslav Minkov saying, I'm amazed how much Uncle Brad knows the ins and outs of any situation regarding immigration. No matter what the situation, there is always a solution. This is just mind-blowing. I feel that.
Thank you very much.
Yes. All right, and our last comment of the day comes from Paulette Bryce Cameron saying, Brad is the best lawyer you ever will hire. Now, he'll get you your green card. He's a blessing to the immigrant community.
Now, I want you to know something. My favorite part of the show is comments of the day. My ego gets so big by the time comments of the day are over, I'm ready to fly out of the studio. But then I remember I can't because I live in the studio.
You live there.
I live right here. I can't fly out of here because this is where I live. All right, so
fly right back.
So Yo-Yo, do we have any more comments?
No, that was it.
All right, so Yo-Yo and Vanessa, you stay put. Stay exactly where you are. Just change your clothes, and we'll be here tomorrow, same spots. Yo-Yo will be on the left of your screen. Vanessa will be in the middle. I'll be on the right, and we'll all be here with the same.
I already have my clothes for tomorrow.
With the same cups, the same Magic 8 Ball.
I already got my clothes for tomorrow. Right here.
Nothing changes. Same cards. Everything's gonna be the same. We just stay right here. I'm gonna start a new TikTok. I live in my studio.
Remember when we got that one comment?
What?
Where it was like, is this the same show as yesterday? Remember when we got that one?
Yes. It was from 2 days ago.
For us, it is.
I think my answer was no. You're watching the one from 2 days ago.
Yes.
All right, everybody. It's Hump Day tomorrow. We'll be back in the same exact spot. See you then.
So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it.
The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?